欢迎进入练习场 ，Join to Enjoy， 松开一切，整合自我，这里是你的练习场。欢迎来到练习场 ，Join to Enjoy。让我们欢迎轰轰老师跟 Rüdiger 老师。对，大家刚刚有听到我用这个乐器哦，就是这个就是我们 Rüdiger 老师在大家现在看到所有的这些乐器，包含这两侧非常巨型的、很神奇又美丽的乐器，都是出自这位老师的神手。然后，那他也是一个所谓我们乐器跟声音界的一个艺术家。对，今天洪老师非常厉害，他同时会被我访问，而且他又要当这整件事情的翻译，太厉害了。对啊，然后我今天现在手上拿的是我刚才玩了之后，我喜欢我自己的灵魂soulmate乐器，叫做Sound
Scale。Stairway to Heaven。
哦 ，Stairway to Heaven，
通往天堂的阶梯。
老师连乐器的名字都非常美丽。
And as you said, it's the sound scale.
Sound scale.
Because we have different scales in here, and this is the sound scale.
Yeah.
太阳音阶。
太阳音阶，所以我就喜欢它那种明亮的感觉。对，那所以今天大家想必可以看到非常多有趣的乐器跟声音跟美妙的体验这样子。好，那我们就是先来聊聊看，为什么今天会有这一场呢？我觉得非常的神奇。Rüdiger 老师是在香港的朋友介绍之下，好像本来是说要来台湾，大概来看一看，
就是第一次来台湾 ，first time to Taiwan。
那为什么最后演变成好像全台巡回的一个音乐分享会呢？
就其实最开始是在香港有一个做少数乐器的朋友，他是做巡乐。就是去到处找这些很少见的特别的乐器，然后他以前有帮 Rüdiger 办过一个分享会，在他的空间，所以 Rüdiger 要来台湾的时候，他就认识我嘛，他就说，有一个老师要去台湾，第一次去，你要不要认识他一下？他做乐器的，很酷的一个音乐家。我就说好啊，要来我家玩几天这样子，然后就不知道怎么的，就好像本来从我家来玩几天，然后就变成你很喜欢分享吗？我也很喜欢那我帮你排几场分享，我们边分享边旅行，然后就越来越多，就最后好像变成了一个巡回演出的感觉。
对，然后我们就是看到，因为洪老师有分享了这位老师来台湾，然后我们就说天哪，我们也要，当然要来，我们也想要分享一下。
其实重点应该是很符合 Join to Enjoy 的精神吧？
没错，这个我刚好有准备一个这个。我们的练习场 Join to Enjoy， 这也要跟 Rüdiger 老师介绍一下。This is our slogan. Yeah, and the same concept with all your instruments.
This is the slogan of music in general.
Join
to enjoy.
Yes.
Because music is like this has this connecting, this harmonizing, this dialogue aspect a lot. So this is the aspect I'm following most in my creations.
因为我知道老师的音乐的源头可能是从小提琴开始，他怎么开始会想要做这么有趣又美丽的乐器呢？
Because I had the opportunity to start instrument building also in a very playful way, in a very experimenting way. So I would like to thank my violin builder master, who passed away already. He had the idea to make young people, young instrument builders, capable to create new instruments already. So he had the idea that our times would need different instruments. So not the old one from Stradivari, like on the 16th century or 15th century, but to create new instruments that are like appropriate for our culture or for the next culture even. This was his idea. So he just sent us out to the woods to chop woods, to to cut it, to split it, and to investigate the sound. So this I was starting from the scratch, but this was an intention already of this violin builder.
那老师从制作乐器之后，怎么样开始走入人群？为什么想要开始分享给大家
？Yeah, mostly because I feel that our music culture needs another attitude, because our music culture is like quite elite based. So
精英的文化。
So you have to study an instrument for at least 7 years or maybe more. Otherwise, you're not allowed to perform. And my belief is that active music making is like a human right.
Yeah,
human right. So everyone should have the opportunity to play an instrument.
Yes.
So, and for sure there are like some of us that are more skilled or more talented, but I feel that this experience to play an instrument actively is so precious that everyone should have it. So I was more and more starting to develop instrument where the technical threshold is quite deep, so you can immediately create with them.
Yes.
So that's with the stairway, or that's maybe later we show the heart rate. So all of them have this property.
对，这个我也要分享一下。我是今天才第一次看到这些乐器，然后我刚刚随便这样子弹的时候，我会觉得天哪，我也太厉害了吧！随便弹都好好听。就是我觉得老师已经把美妙的声音藏在这个乐器里了，就你根本不用自己去练习什么吉他和弦啊，练习怎么按去背诵。然后，所以我觉得刚才老师讲的这种自由的，每个人都有自由去玩音乐的可能性的时候，我会觉得很感动。因为我一拿到这个乐器的时候，我就是这种感觉，就我也太厉害了吧，我都没有学我就会了这样子。那这个也回到轰轰老师身上，就是因为我们之前也跟你聊过口簧琴嘛，对，但所以其实我觉得它对我来说是同一个概念。就是我也是因为认识轰轰老师之后，发现其实乐器不用想太多。因为在弹奏乐器的过程中，其实我们是在弹奏自己的身体嘛的那种感觉。那所以我觉得轰老师，你第一次遇到 Rüdiger 老师的时候，你的感觉也是这样吗？说有人也在做类似的事情，可是他把它变得更缤纷的那种感觉。
For me, playing Johar is also like a free thing, so like a playful sound. Just playing my body actually. So with the vibration, the Johar itself cannot sound without like a mouth or that body as a resonant box. And that free spirit, that spontaneous improvisation kind of feeling is very similar to what you have been doing. And then when we two meet, I feel I really think it's a very precious chance, kind of like a destiny thing. I don't know how to explain it in English. Just when I first saw your website and some of the work of yours, and then the chair, and then like just in 5 seconds, I think like I will really want to meet you, and then open up like many different connections to you, because like this is such a precious thing that we have been working on for so long, and it would be really great to have this ability, this opportunity to present your work to all the people I know that are also striving toward this direction. So this is actually what we've been doing over these 2 weeks time.
老师在这个2个礼拜里的体验，他第一次接触到台湾，然后分享给台湾的喜欢这些自由音乐的人，他的感觉是什么？
I'm totally impressed by the openness that I'm meeting, the open-heartedness, the openness, the playfulness. So I didn't expect this. So people really, they're craving for something like this, and being playful, improvising. investigating new stuff, and my experience is super positive in these days. And even it's quite challenging because we're going from we're meeting very different situations and very different locations, venues, but always this openness and this like colorfulness of experiences.
And always every event, like the participants will like stay there for one or two more extra hours. Not
always extra hours.
Always extra hours.
Even till midnight,
even till midnight,
而且我必须要讲，大家如果想要看这些活动的记录的话，在呼黄旅人，就是翁老师的黄呼旅人的那个 FB 上面可以看到。然后我很神奇，就是在不同的美丽的场合，甚至在稻田里面，然后玩着自由的乐器，然后我会看得到那个大家脸上的那个表情，很真的 enjoy 在里面，然后很开心的体验这样。
This is something else. So like, I like to combine the playing of instruments with movement. So the movement, I mean, whatever you play, you always move, but you actually it's like a side. Mostly it's regarded as a side effect. But I like to be conscious about moving. Like if you play the stairway, this thing. So it's like you use your whole body to produce the sound. If you don't do this, it's already the sound is not coming. And this is a very good example because the how the sound weaves, how the tones weaves into each other. This is a product of the movement.
刚刚我第一次看到这个乐器的时候，老师展现给我的方式就是，他就拿着这个乐器一敲完之后，突然在我面前绕了一圈，然后我就是整个被震慑住，好像突然进到另外一个宇宙，然后我说不出话来，就是我没有这种声音的体验过，就是非常神奇。
心好像一个网子或一个泡泡拉过来的时候，会把你整个人包围住的感觉。
May I demonstrate?
Yeah.
So, and there's, I don't know whether this exists in here, but in German you say, weniger ist mehr. Means like less is more. So in this case it's really like this, so it's like So if you follow the tone, if you listen to the tone, so it leads you somewhere, and this is the most interesting thing. When I was beating already, doing nothing, just moving the instrument, it leads you in another space.
Yes. 真的，我觉得我好希望这个东西可以每个人家里都有一个。Everyone should have one.
可以选购，可以选购。
Different moods.
Yeah, moods.
那我觉得老师可以刚好介绍一下这三个不同的
Should I try another one?
Yeah.
Check another one. So I won't say the name now. I'll say it later. So this is another scale, producing another mood. I always like to ask people, can you describe this property? What's the quality of this mood?
神秘感 mystery.
Yeah, something mystery.
Yeah. Another universe.
Another universe.
Different.
So I call it the moon scale.
Sun and moon.
Sun and moon.
我就觉得哇，连这个名字都好好听哦。就是我自己的经验里面也不会去给乐器，吉他 guitar is guitar, violin is violin, and we never had another beautiful name for the instruments. So I think the art 就是老师的艺术的范围是从视觉到 naming， 然后到他的声响，然后跟他的哲学 philosophy is full of art and very beautiful and between humans. So 反正我就是第一次看到这么浩瀚的事情，哇，太难 describe， difficult to describe because the art of your instruments and music is so
rich.
And 在这些音乐之前，我记得我看到老师有一个他对于声音的概念，是他反而有蛮多阐述关于寂静这件事情。就是那老师是怎么样看待安静这件事情、寂静这件事情，有很多的想法，可是他同时又是一个制造声音的人在。
Yeah, I mean, in our times, it's not easy to witness real silence, like complete silence. Actually, complete silence is not there. So, since you are alive, there is no complete silence. But it's like the experience of silence is something that I'm looking for. And this experience relates to a certain attitude. Sounds a bit mysterious. I make an example. So when I was like meeting people in here, I invited them to improvise, especially with these guys, the long overtone flutes. So we build up a circle with these ones, and it's also quite easy to we will show it later maybe, to get tones out of it. And we stood in a circle, and I told them, okay, I would like to create a little piece of improvisation with you. But there's no rule in between, but there's one requirement. There are two requirements that are very important for having a successful, nice, full, beautiful piece. And this is the silence in the beginning. So really to go to this space of nothingness, and out of this one, something new, beautiful can emerge, can be born. And then the other very important aspect is like to feel a common end, that something is going to an end, like a piece or what is it? I don't know the English words, but if this wholeness like comes to an end, there's a completion movement, and then to sense it together. Not one is saying, okay, that's the end, but to sense it's coming to an end and to really make it happen, this end, and then entering the silence again, like diving into the silence. And this moment is like magic. If you really feel it as a groove, it's really magic what you can create with this moment.
这个感觉也会很像有一种 meditation 的用音乐 meditation 的感觉，然后用音乐的引导去让我们专注在这个现在正在发生的当下。因为现在我们的生活环境的确，为什么会做练习场，或者什么，就是透过一些音乐乐器，或者是不同的工具，然后让我们繁忙很忙的生活，然后可以再回到一个比较纯粹的一个当下。那老师是怎么看声音疗愈这件事？
So all these aspects you're mentioning, like education and the healing aspect is very important. So first I said this thing with the threshold, so everyone is able to produce sounds. But not everyone is able or is used to listen to sounds actually. So the listening to sounds and really receiving sounds is like, it's an art as well. So like this is also a requirement for really receiving the healing forces of sounds. So that's why I'm starting with this silence thing. I really have to say, in our times, modern culture, we have such a noisy culture. It's so noisy. So everywhere we go, you have this recorded music coming, and you have machines, and you have people, blah, 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 endless and meaningless. So it's really hard to create this space, to maintain the space in which something beautiful, creative, via sounds can emerge. So I have this slogan. I have another slogan. It's called "Refined Sounds in a Noisy World." So this is the situation out of what I'm trying to create a new consciousness about sound and music. So this is already healing. It's already healing when you can enter into the sound where your whole system, your nerves, your cells can relax, because they don't expect like so much impulses from outside. So this is the first thing. And then it's very subtle. So whatever even if you have regard these 3 scales. So this is all remedies. So if you have a stomach ache, you will take the moon maybe. And if you have headache, you will take the Bali magic scale. So this is like already the me from music therapy.
Sacred music.
Yeah, from music therapy. So it's very delicate. So not every sound is like appropriate to every human. So to find this out and to experiment with this, and it's a long way. It's a long path.
There's also one thing I like about your sound healing session that's kind of distinguished from others, that some of the other healing sessions, like the facilitator would have this strong purpose to heal you. Like, with this sound, I want you to release your emotions, I want you to feel something so that you can get cured. But in your session, it's so just the sound itself, the neutral being that kind of just simply accompany everyone in a very pure way, very, very gentle way, and that actually really helps to relax more and heal. Healing will happen automatically, just naturally.
I propose that we have another sound, that we insert another sound in our situation.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, let's do it.
Because the one, I think it's like two. It's not a polarity. It's like 2 aspects. It's like the pure sound, receiving the pure sound or producing the pure sound, that is healing and relaxing and harmonizing. And the other one is to open the space for playfulness. And there I have one example that is really like such a archetypal one, and this is the heart bridge. I would just like to show the heart bridge. So I always like to say, unfortunately, these instruments you cannot play alone, so you need a partner. Unfortunately. So, but it's easy to find a partner and it's easy to play. Okay, so there's no requirements, just let it come. So I also like to say you don't have to hurt the other one. This is like not allowed. So beat him.
除了不要打头之外，其他都可以，没有其他规
Use this
则。
mallet as a weapon.
Okay.
No verbal communication.
And no verbal communication. So we communicate just with what we're doing.
Okay.
Great.
This is a mutual end.
And at that point, I want to say, like, I created this thing like nearly 30 years ago. Meanwhile, And I did like thousands of dialogues like this. And always in the beginning, I don't know what will happen. Not at all. And every time the outcome is totally different, totally unique, totally new. So it's amazing. It's really amazing. And always I'm nervous because I don't know what's happening.
Joyful.
Yeah, joyful. And the more we play, the more it's getting connected, the more it's getting relaxed and joyful. So there's also, it's a strong development in a very short time. It's like instant healing or instant connecting as well. This is the heart bridge. That's why I gave it the name the heart bridge.
Oh, heart. 新的桥梁。
对，
好酷哦。
And it's made from bamboo, like from a very big Bali bamboo meanwhile.
Like that one.
Yeah, like that one. I'll show it later. Before I was telling about this violin builder, so we're chopping woods and to make like from solid wood make little bars like this one was the first way to investigate sounds. So at one point I said, okay, it's like I can create a xylophone out of it. And the simplest way to put a xylophone together, maybe not the simplest one, but a very convenient one is like this way.
Yeah. How come would you come up with the idea of putting it like
people.
this?
Yeah.
To connect
Actually,
people.
I think I saw in outside a shop in Cologne where I was growing up partly. I was seeing it was from Thailand. It was from an instrument from Thailand. It was a box actually, but on top it was not sticked. The mallets were not kept by sticks like this with the average xylophone, but they had this thing, sort of thing like strings, but they were just kept like this, but underneath the box. And I was seeing this was giving me the idea you can isolate this thing.
哇！
本来是一个架子两边。
他是看到一个泰国的乐器是用绳子固定这个木琴的，然后他就说哦，原来这个木琴的这个木条的部分其实是可以分开来的，然后再演变成现在这样的设计。
Okay. But with people.
But
with two
with two people.
Yeah.
It's more vivid.
It's genius.
I feel like I witnessed that people starting to dance with this as well. They're doing stuff like this.
我刚才那个真的很神奇耶，就是你又紧张又开心，这个是很复杂的情绪。
而且每一次
nervous but joyful，
看到很多人，每个人个性都不一样，你就可以看到哇，这个人敲在反映出他平常是一个什么样的人。
对啊，而且我觉得刚刚的过程当中，就是像洪老师讲到，我们常会尤其是现在大家开始想要疗愈自己，然后你反而会很有目的性的想要去上很多疗愈的课程，或是你想要知道这件事情到底可以现在给我什么立即的速效，让我好一点这样。那但是我觉得这样透过这样自由的状态去探索的时候，反而你虽然你不知道，你不要期盼你会得到什么的时候，那个回来的东西更多。所以我觉得光是刚刚这个小小的一个互动跟人的连结，反而那个冲击是会留在，我猜啦，会留在身体里面很久。
那个喜悦吧，我觉得那东西更容易留下来。
对。那我很好奇，老师自己怎么样？比如说也会有烦躁的时候吗？那这个时候他有这么多乐器，他会拿什么乐器来让自己 calm down？
Sometimes it's not complicated. If you know the key, if you know the switch, then it's not complicated to get healed. It's just about knowing where to find this switch. Yeah, just the other day I was thinking again about this thing with the energy. So often we say, oh, I don't have enough energy, I feel exhausted and all this stuff. And I believe that mostly we are not exhausted. We have too much energy and we hold it back and we get stuck because we hold our energy back. This is a lot, we have this issue. And it means being active in doing things, like also with the instrument, but also in other ways. Being active and making your your energy system fluid again. This is the most important gate to healing. You know what I mean? So it's more the holding back, getting stuck because I'm not allowed to do this, I'm not allowed to do this, this is not appropriate, I don't want to be aggressive, so I'm aggressive to myself, I'm getting stuck more and more, stuff like this. It's just the way to deal with yourself is not healthy at all in our culture, mainly.
Exactly.
And we have to find new ways to make it healthy again.
Yeah.
Without being destructive. Yeah, so this is a challenge.
And the dialogue thing is
so the dialogue thing is a very important thing. To allow you to have a dialogue in which is everything is allowed. We could have also played harder with this one. It's indestructible, I would say. Yeah. I would like to show this with a overtone flute with you. Because to make it in a playful way, it's to make to blow the channels free again. To be afterwards, you can be gentle again. It's nice and it's authentic. It's not I'm playing the harmonic guy, la la, and I was gentle, but inside I'm like there's a fire going.
It's really representing your state at the moment through the music. Just like you're speaking a different language. And I like what you say music don't lie. Like that's the advantage of the musical dialogue compared to the verbal ones.
Ah, okay.
Right?
Yeah, you want me to repeat this one? No.
Oh no, I just say just run.
Let us do it.
Yeah.
Let us do it.
Okay.
The advantage of the musical dialogue is, what is the advantage of the musical dialogue?
你知道用音乐来对话的好处是什么吗？
I don't know.
Compared with the verbal
想
dialogue.
想看，猜猜看是什么？
用音乐的对，without use your brain.
Without your brain, you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
This is one.
And make the flow between two people.
Maybe more fluid, maybe even more harmonious.
Yeah.
But there's another one. It's very specific.
Yeah.
Specific.
Very specific. I will name it. So it's in the verbal dialogue, you have this role of listener and speaker. So you always have to change this role. Either you're the speaker or you're the listener. Otherwise it's mass. So you won't get the information. You won't get in touch. There's no completion. With the musical dialogue, you can play at the same time and listen at the same time. Yeah, this is beautiful. But you can also do this. You can also be in the role of more listening and more acting. It's also possible, but it's not a condition of musical dialogue.
Wow, 好酷哦!
So there's a lot of variety with this instrument, actually, also not so much requirements. You see there's no finger hole, there's just one tube. And there's just this mouthpiece, and the principle is the recorder principle.
跟直笛一样。
Just the style is Indonesian, Balinese.
Only one note
像是
and
印度语系
everything.
So there's one bass note, like with the jaw harp.
有个基音。
One bass note, and out of this bass note, you can let unfold a whole overtone scale.
全部是泛音，没有按口。
And you just aim the different tones by different breathing and by different shaping of your mouth. So it's simple, but it's also complex and very delicate. But you do it like for 10 days now, you're already quite professional.
10 seconds I'm a professional already.
Yeah. So maybe I just would like to mention that the complexity of, I mean, this is just maybe 5% of the instruments I was
only 5%
inventing or building. But it's like let's say it's a choice that represents a lot of different sound making principles already. And I just want to say why this is important to me, to have these different sound making principles, because all of these instruments they bring up something different in the human. So either by listening, also by playing, they bring up something. They have another impact. And all of these impacts, they are like very precious and can be very healing. For example, because we were talking about the clarinet, if you compare the flute, we did the overtone flute. I mean, it's even more with a small one like this. It's more like, it's very airy. So it's like a wind instrument. Sure, it's airy. So it does like. So you can feel it's like opening a sphere, like it's somewhere there. And also with the overtone flute, but with the clarinet that looks a bit similar. People always think, this is a flute, interesting, like looks like a recorder here.
Yeah.
But the important thing is the mouthpiece with the reed, and this creates a quite different sound, and it creates a different like response of your body. So the flute was more like head related, and this one is more like belly related. So I will play a little bit. So it makes like you have to have a certain tension in your diaphragm to produce this sound, and so the response is more like concentrating your force. It's more, it's on a deeper layer, and even if you go more deep like this. Strong.
Speechless.
And also people say, such a small thing. How do you get this sound out of it?
真的很惊人呢，怎么可以这么有力量的声音，好吓人哦。
And I like this variety because it's bringing out different aspects of it.
And this one more Western, that one Eastern.
The flute, a little bit like this. But I did this. I used the same material as well. So this is the flute material, same material, like bulu. It's called bulu, special kind of bamboo, and you can do it with this one as well. It's also different. So it's more saxophone-like.
好神奇哦！怎么会可以用这个东西可以做成像萨克斯风或是其他管乐的声音？
不同的材质就有不同的声音质地嘛。 的这种丰富度，真的很好玩。
那我好奇老师的取材都是从他会有特殊的取材的方式吗？
materials 特殊的取
材的来源，或是他是在生活当中，还是在哪里取材
Yeah, this was really like being very curious about different. I started with like, as I said, shopping woods, shopping different timbers, and checking their sound. So this was starting with this one, and actually this one, my first. I don't have it with me. My first clarinet, my first experimenting with this reed thing, was also bamboo, like an average bamboo, but then later I shifted to a solid wood. I was turning it, and what is quite a hard work actually.
Wow.
Because the sound is different as you notice. So this is more clear, more focused, and this is more a bit like saxophone-like, more a little bit more sensual, I would even say.
那老师会对于树啊、竹子不同的植物好了，他的感受是什么？就是他研究这么多的树木植物，然后他的对于这些东西，对于变成乐器的这中间的，他的怎么样挑选，那感觉是什么？
Yeah, there's intuition meanwhile. So in the beginning it was not knowing anything, just taking a piece of wood, knocking on it, and being surprised, and taking another one, like with the mallets, for example, as I said. So you take the same size, you take the same shape, and you compare different timbers. So you will notice there's a different sound. So how come? So then you investigate the shape. If you change the shape, what happens? How does the sound change with the shape? So all these things I was doing over years.
Like a scientist, kind of.
And then step by step, there's intuition growing.
慢慢去发掘自己的直觉力。
对，
其实也是真的是也跟孔老师很像。那老师刚才有介绍了管乐，还有这边比较像管乐，然后接下来还有弦乐的。这个好可爱，这好像小金鱼还是什么的。
It's like a little whale.
对啊。然后这个弓也好可爱。
Let me do it first. This is the smallest string instrument I'm building, and it's already a bowed instrument. You could say a little violin. But it's not a violin, it's a psaltery actually. This is like psaltery is a family of instruments that were created already 1500 years ago in the Orient, and then developed. But I picked it up, this principle. The principle is that every string is like separate. So the tone is like related to one string. You don't shorten it with the violin like this, or like with the guitar like this, but you just leave it as a whole. How do you say it? I don't know. you understand. So I just play it a little bit. Go press a little bit more. And start with the lower tones, it's easier to do. Yeah.
好神奇哦！那个 reverb，the reverb is speechless.
Yeah, it's different from the violin. If you strike the violin after you after you detach the string with a bow, the sound is gone. It's done. So this keeps on vibrating. That's the nice thing about it.
今天老师的每一个乐器都会让我下巴掉下来，因为我们平常弹的乐器就是真的很 guitar is that kind of guitar.
有个音箱。
The note is 非常 specific. 哇，这个连他老师的泛音很广。
它会发散到整个空间里面一样的感觉。
好酷哦。And cute.
It's cute, yeah.
Sounds beautiful.
It's like a pocket violin.
Yeah.
You can put it inside here.
Yeah, and you just hold easily. Oh, cool.
And I didn't talk about the different resonance bodies. So with this one, it's quite obvious. This is like a solid piece of wood, so there's no hollow space in it. So it's solid. So this distinguishes like the properties. Like with a violin or guitar, they always have this case. And this produces a different quality of sound.
And how you pick the note, the scaled note? It sounds Eastern.
Yeah, it's a pentatonic scale. So it's like the ancient Chinese scale. Yeah. Most of them actually. The Sun scale also, this one, not the other one.
所以老师喜欢五声音阶。
So you like pentatonic?
I love pentatonic because it's like it has different properties. So one is it's very basic, so it's understood by everyone, like every human of every age. It's just easy to understand it and easy to perceive its quality. This is one thing. The other thing is very harmonious, so the impact is very harmonious.
How about?
Yeah.
Wow.
Different strings?
Yeah.
So there's another string instrument, just stroking by the finger, 1 or 2 fingers.
我真的觉得我像 master.
Already master.
Yeah. It's 30 seconds. I've become master. What's the name of this instrument?
It's called Wave Rider.
Wave Rider，像乘浪起一样的感觉。
这个名字也太美了吧！乘浪的。
它是音浪。
And this is actually my smallest Wave Rider exponent. So I have also. This is also a Wave Rider actually. But I have something middle sized that have more scales. They are not pentatonic anymore, they are diatonic. They have different fields of tones. So the principle, the secret is there's different fields of tones. So always a bunch of strings tuned at the same pitch. So it's and this makes the sound so rich. It makes like opening up this space of
And then the shape is like this one I can hold easily, and this one I can
grab it easily.
Yeah.
I mean, there's different ways, but this is quite convenient.
Yeah. 这样子我这样子很舒服所以我觉得老师在制作乐器的时候，连人体工学，就是你必须要跟这个乐器
的关系，
然后融在一起，然后你才会可以很舒服的、自在的去创作的这种感觉。
I think you design when you design, you probably think a lot about the relation between this instrument and the human, the player itself. So like how they relate it.
像这个也是。
All the relations are very critical in your design process.
And it's about, I mean, there's technical aspects that it works, that you can get the scale out of it. Then the sound, that this supports the sound like a maximum. So there's different aspects, and I have to combine all of them.
然后这个很细的雕刻，其实是浪，像是沙滩上的浪一样。
Yeah, there's this carving on the surface.
真的耶。
refines the sound.
然后它其实也会对声音有影响。
And this actually, in the building process, this is I like most because it's like a meditation. It goes like. like 2000 things like this, yeah.
哦，在刨这个的时候，就很像在冥想的过程。
It's hand carved, yeah. So, and even not hammered, it's just like.
连老师在形容他制作乐器的过程，都觉得哇，好疗愈哦，好酷哦。像这个最大也是 wave 的 concept.
Yeah.
Writer.
Oh.
Same concept. I mean, this is also. I was building this in Taiwan, so my first Taiwan instrument, Taiwan-born instrument.
Wow.
Like 4 days ago, meanwhile.
Yeah.
哦，这么新，哇！
Yeah, so.
那怎么找到这个木头的？
Yeah, I actually didn't expect these things to happen. Yeah, when we contacted at the first moment, and then it was like a adventure, really. Like, so talking about how to transport this instrument. I don't have a car, I don't drive myself, so it's really a big challenge, and also finding the big wood because he wants to present a lower tone to accompany these higher sounds. Yeah, so like for this become a mission impossible kind of thing. And we go to a carpentry friend in Puli and then dive into that factory kind of to find out these piece of wood.
And I was planning this secretly already by bringing in like strings and pins because I won't get it here. This is really custom-made stuff. The pins, you know, this one, the strings.
哦，也都全部都是在台湾找
他
到的。
事先带来的。
哦，事先带来，然后只有木头在台湾。
对
Only the wood.
OK。而且我会觉得老师跟轰轰的神奇的磁场，就是当他们想要完成一件事情的时候，很随缘的，真的全宇宙都会来帮忙。就是我想要来分享一下，哇，全部人都哇来我这，然后那这些很巨大的东西怎么样运送呢？就是真的会有人马上自愿说，我的车可以，然后他们就这样子完成了几乎有点像环岛的一个分享的音乐旅程，我觉得真的太炫。然后连最大的这个乐器都是在台湾制作的，真是太了不起了，对吧？就是更能够直觉力很强的人的那个磁场召唤力很强的那种感觉，对。所以我们今天呢，非常的幸运的，竟然可以因为看到网络上那个轰轰老师正在跟 Rüdiger 老师做这个台湾之旅啊，就是台湾乐器的创造之旅。然后我们有荣幸在练习场可以邀请到他们来分享，然后我们看到了这么多美丽的乐器，我自己的启发是真的玩乐器、玩音乐、创造声音，真的是每一个人都可以很自在、随性的去，不用透过头脑去想的。然后这个过程的美妙程度，真的是我就觉得好可惜，没办法把这个传到在镜头前面的你。如果大家真的能碰到那个音乐的震动，对我来说是有时候真的不需要想太多，然后我也不需要先知道它能发生什么事。我觉得这个未知的过程，其实反而是最美妙的。然后也很像这一次老师的旅程，来台湾的旅程一样。我觉得他的精神刚好贯穿在所有的事情上面，从他为什么制作这些乐器，对，然后到他的人生，他遇到的人，全部都是这样子未知的互动，这样子，我真的觉得这件事情很浩瀚啊，对吧？最后也想要请老师分享一下，他在这一次的台湾跟大家互动的这个过程当中，他觉得台湾的这个氛围是怎么样呢？然后跟他在国外跟其他人分享的时候，他有什么不同的感受？然后他希望期待未来，比如再来玩吗？还是怎么样的？可以分享一下。
I'm super sure that I will come back. So I already checking like my schedule of the autumn this year. Come back.
Wow.
Because I feel there's so many opportunities and options in here to go on with this stuff.
Yeah.
And so much openness, so I'm really looking forward to come back. And but in whatever kind, so like more from the healing aspect, more from the musical aspect, like also meet other musicians and do stuff together. Yeah. Also the building, I'm facilitating 2 hard-pitch building workshops in here. So one is done already, one will be tomorrow. So we are building these things out from the from the scratch with the bamboo.
bamboos.
Yeah, from local bamboos. And even if it's somehow simple, it provides already a lot of very basic experience of instrument building.
真的很开心今天有这个机会，而且我们大概可能是不到1个礼拜的时间之内，马上邀请到老师啊，可以来录，赶快，一定要分享给台湾的大家。然后也感觉到哇，我们练习场好像越来越国际化了，就是开始有一些国际大师老师来到台湾，然后也希望未来还有很多的机会，可以再跟不同有趣的声音的老师们一起接触，然后带给大家不同的生活上可以疗愈自己的工具跟可能性。好哦，那今天非常开心的，就谢谢Rüdiger老师还有轰轰老师，谢谢，下次有缘再见，耶！
谢谢大宝。
谢谢大宝。